Okay, so I think we're going to finally decide right here, right now, who is the strongest between Godzilla and Gipsy Danger. All right, so Godzilla, we'll start with you.
All right, well, first and foremost, I've stopped a meteor with my beam. Also, as a matter of fact, I shoot a beam. My skin's practically impenetrable. And I'd say I have the biggest kaiju defeat count on record.
All right, good points, good points. Gipsy, your turn.
I got a sword. Really? That's your argument? Well, what more of an argument do I need? One that's convincing. You see, I fought monsters with hooks, chainsaws, and, do you want this back? Yes, please. Well, too bad. Hey, still down with that argument. Also, what is this on my shoulder?
Oh, you know what? We were making beams the other day. It's probably monster clay. If I had to venture a guess. Also, I probably should have. Anyways, yeah, monster clay.
And you didn't clean me up?
Why would I clean you? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. You're lucky if I dust. Look at this guy. You're lucky. You're lucky you get actually moved. Yeah, he actually is dusty. Oh. It's not even part of the thing. I just swallowed it. Oh, man, I really gotta get these toys at the back of the shelves. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And today in this review, we have the Lingjihun Gipsy Danger from Pacific Rim. Main reason I got this is we picked up the Crimson Typhoon as like the test to see if I wanted to be in this line because a lot of the stuff looked really promising. And the Crimson Typhoon is one of my favorite figures that I have currently.
It blew us. Like, just mind-blowing how good it was.
Yeah, it's like infinitely better than the NECA. It's the detailing on it, what it came with. It's just like bang for your buck was like one of the best Pacific Rim figures I've gotten. And so now I'm kind of all in. They have like the leather back looks sweet. It's also got light up features. That's going out for pre-order.
I've seen that. I'm hoping they put out mine. If they do, I'll let you know to buy it for me, Steve. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
No.
The Russian Chernobyl.
Oh, Chernobyl. I thought you meant kaiju. I'm like, which kaiju do you
No.
Oh, yeah, Chernobyl. Of course, Chernobyl. I wanted that big Chernobyl Alpha. The $300 one with like the working punchy fist.
I should have bought it. I was an idiot. I had money. I should have bought it. I regret almost every day not buying that.
It's cool.
That's something I would never
Even
sold.
the NECA, like I would, if I could have. I kind of regret not buying the yellow. I only needed to, but it would have been kind of cool to have the bigger ones. So like I said, they got stuff that's coming out. Super excited. Even the Uprising figures, like Gipsy Avenger, looks sweet. It even comes with like the nuke missile thing.
Yeah.
Pretty pumped for that one too. So, anyways, we're gonna get into this and see if this is this the best Gipsy Danger since Soul Shigoken, or are we?
Is he taking the first spot, or is he just going to be stuck in the second?
Yeah, or is having 7 NECA figures to equate to 1 Gipsy good enough? But anyways, without further ado, for the packaging, kind of similar to a lot of the other packagings. Like I think the NECA Pacific Rim one had the same
iconic
Gipsy Danger like poster look on the front here. You can see some of the other Jaegers in the back. The Lingjihun logo. I like that the stickers here are pretty sweet on this. I almost thought these were like Pacific Rim inspired, but I think that's just the companies. You also get some QR codes. It's actually officially licensed, which is nice.
Might have to see the QR code, see what it says on it.
Yeah, because initially when I seen these, I thought these were going to be like, it's Pacific Rim. But no, these are actually legit.
Sounds like there's quite a few things in there.
Oh yeah, on the box. Like that's all it comes with.
Helps if I read.
Yeah, so Gipsy comes with quite a bit of things and also has a light up feature. So anyways, since we already got her open up out of our cardboard prison, let's get into her. All right, so now that we got Gipsy open up out of its cardboard prison, first and foremost, this is everything that it comes with. It even comes with the screwdriver.
Oh my God, there's so much there.
So you can stab it with the kaijus. This is actually helped get to the battery compartment because it does actually come with batteries too, which is nice.
Is it like those small batteries? Or?
Yeah, it's like the watch batteries.
Yeah.
On the back here, which is a little bit of a pain to do. Those shoulder plates kind of in a funky position. Hold up. I'm trying to figure out how to Get off the plate, shoulder. There we go. Okay. So on the back here, these actually pop off. It's kind of right here. It's a bit
God, it looks dangerous.
bit of a struggle.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. But that's the battery compartment. You just unscrew it, you pop your batteries in. It comes with, I think, 4 of them, so you get like 1 extra. And then popping it back in, you just kind of line up the pegs to the pegs. I usually start with the top and then do the bottom so that'll snap in. And then, funny enough, the boats is the way that you activate the lights. So on the Crimson Typhoon, it was the extra forearm. There was a magnet in it that you touch the back of this. You take the back with the propeller.
What?
Boop.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, you want to be like right around here.
Oh my God.
On the
Can
center
you
of the
imagine
back.
if you were to lose that? Gotta be screwed.
It's a magnet. So you just need a magnet.
Oh, so anything would work. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shut off the lights real quick just so you guys can see a little better.
There it is.
So the reactor lights up and the eyes, which is nice because you can shift these around and pose them too, which I think is really dope. I kind of wish there was maybe this is the needy Steve in me. I would like a few more lights because I always had like the spotlights on the shoulders and nobody ever really has those light up.
You are needy.
And
Just
that
be
would be
grateful they did this.
Well, they could have just had one big light and just had some more plastic hole spots.
If they put up just one big light, you would have been like, "Oh man, I wish each individual was a light." Then.
Heck yeah! Like, really needy Steve. Why doesn't the gun light up?
Oh God! You know what? You're right on that one though. Why isn't a gun lighting up? That's like the one
Has some
thing that
batteries
should
in
light
here.
up.
It would be sweet. I understand. It's not a big deal. Even the light in the body, like I like that it could do this. But the one nice thing about this is you're probably gonna have this just kind of hanging on your shelf anyways to display with the Gipsy. So it's like it's right here.
Easy access.
If you want to turn it on. I'm not sitting here trying to fumble around with a switch or something. So like sometimes if I got like people coming over upstairs, I want to turn on the lights on everything. This makes it like super convenient, which I think is sweet. But boat also looks really good. It's even got a little extra painting for the life preservers and such. It's got a little bit of a scuff. You got the grip section here and also a peg, which I'm assuming one of these hands has.
I was gonna say that looks like a peg. So is that meant to? Is it the one that's next to the camera, not closer to you?
Oh, there's one hanging out down here. Hey! I felt like there was something missing. So how does that wrap? Because that's the fingers. So I'm assuming that goes around the thumb.
God, I hope the fingers are bendable at least.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
They're a bit soft. It's just trying to... There we go. Oh, that's nice.
So that one, just like that arm, you just leave it like that, Steve. You don't...
Yeah.
That one is done.
And it goes. So I already dig this quite a bit. Because, like, the peg sitting on there didn't really stand out that much, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it when I first did the unboxing. It's just now really pegged that there's a little support there. And then this holds in it so well. So you don't have to worry about this thing, like, randomly flopping out the hands while you're trying to, like, say, do your stop motion or even to just display. You don't have to really worry about this popping out over its eye. Granted, it could lean because of the weight, but pretty solid. You also get the little shipping containers that he uses to punch leather back in the face.
That's neat.
Oh, I say he. I don't know why. I know it's a she.
Probably arms that fits in, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. They
gripping
gave
ones.
you the arms for everything.
Boom. Yeah, it's like
extra hands.
Yeah, you get extra hands. Like I said, it's nice because like remember with NECA, we had like these had the whole figure you had to buy.
Yeah.
In order to just get these. And then there was a figure for the boat. There was a figure for the sword arms. There was a figure
for the cannon.
I was trying to think, is there even a figure with the... Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
It's also a figure with the nuclear reactor. This is probably the one thing that would have been kind of nice. You do get these little thrusters, though.
Oh, he's got the butt thrusters?
It's for the... It's for the rocket fist.
Oh.
So you insert that in and then be able to do the rocket punch. Personally, I kind of like the plasma cannon.
The beam just stays on there, the cannon.
It also rotates, so depending on how you want it positioned with the fingers. It's done in a translucent blue plastic. Fun one, though, is getting these on. I noticed I had an easier time doing the thing you're not supposed to do, is you kind of bend it a little bit, and it helps to slide it off. But just to show you guys. I do kind of recommend having some heat there when you want to put this on, though. So using like a hair dryer or hot water. The only thing is the elbow can only bend so far because the bicep here gets in the way. So you only really get
a little
close to a 90. It can straighten up. You probably get like about 70% bend there, which isn't bad. That's probably the one thing that kind of reminds me the most about the NECA is the NECA had the same issue. The Solo Shigoken, which is nice about that, is the bicep can actually shift upward to give you even more bend, which could have been cool to have on here, but I do understand, especially at the price point and all these things that come with, like this isn't going to break the bank on me. That the bend, honestly, is probably good enough.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but hey, it works.
Yeah, and you also get the chain blade here for the sword. You get only the fully engaged. You don't get the little floppy one. Which is kind of the funny thing about the NECA originally is that it was like they both were like the floppy looking one.
Yeah.
Which was weird. The only thing is it's kind of hard to get off. I don't think I have this one on all the way, but there's actually a peg here with a lip. So initially trying to get the plate off, I felt like I was going to break this thing. Whoops.
Well, you lost the thing now.
Yeah, it's under the table.
So how did you figure out how it came off then?
Thankfully this plastic's got like a slight bit of flex to it, so you just pull on it until it popped off. Again, heat's your best friend, especially with these things. I definitely recommend a hair dryer of some sorts. Because even getting this thing on is like not the easiest thing for me to do. For me, I thought I was putting it upside down. But I'm like, how do I put it upside down? It's only got one. There we go. Got it back on. So like I said, when trying to get this off, I haven't tried getting this side off yet. But you pretty much got to yank on this thing until it removes. You'll feel like you're breaking it, but you're not. And then able to see the peg hole here. Goes on there. Oop.
You should be having bad luck with that, Steve.
Yeah, like I said, I was trying to pop. I didn't want to pop it on all the way to show you, just so I don't have to keep swapping this thing out over and over again. But it is nice that it does come with the pair. And then I'm also curious, now that I got the boat on here, how well that goes on the hand. So for the hands, they got a bit of a rotation here. And to get these off, you just want to always go straight out from the peg.
It is a
Again,
scary.
heat is your best friend. Oh,
Jesus, I think you're going to break this stuff, man.
yeah, thankfully Gipsy is pretty durable. There we go. Yeah, I was going to say the weight is a little bit too much for the hinge to deal with, but yeah. So you do got that. So if you want to have it like beating something, you're probably going to want to have it resting on the other arm, which is kind of why you get these like open, relaxed hands so it can grip. Or doing like the dragging pose, what have you. It can sort of hold it like a sword, but any real movement's going to get this thing to tip side to side. Either way. Ugh. But for the hands, it does come with a pair of open, relaxed hands. Get a pair of gripping hands. Get a pair of clenched fists. And then, oddly enough, you get like super grippy hand and then slightly gripping hand, which is pretty much the companion piece to this other gripping hand for this side here. Which, again, super sweet, because for the most part, we didn't usually get a lot of extra hand options to go with our previous Gipsy Danger figures. And that's pretty much it for the accessories.
It comes with a lot. I'm actually surprised. I did not know it came with that much. The varieties and everything is just insane in there.
You know what I just noticed?
Huh.
You see that chest plate?
You didn't notice that?
I did not notice that till just right.
That's what I was talking about. Like, it gives you like an illusion that you can, it moves more. You know?
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it moves when you move the arm to chest.
Well, because I was just about to mention that I didn't like the way the shoulder looked, because I don't know if it's just the color variety and the plastic, but this is like the one piece that looks like very much like a toy.
Yeah.
Like, it stands out in comparison to the rest of the joints on the figure here. It works though for the posability though. Like, you get a lot of range of motion, but it's just like, I don't know, it's almost too thin looking.
Well, it's like for the legs, they gave it that piston in the front, you know, when you move it. And then for the arms up there, the shoulders, they gave the chest piece to move. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, well, it's like the shoulder plate here kind of hides that a bit, but you have to adjust it in order to really get like the full range of motion on here.
You start moving it around, it doesn't give you a lot
but
of options.
I didn't notice that little plate there shifts when you rotate the arm. That is cool. Because you also have a piston here too in the leg.
Yeah, which is neat.
Yeah, you get a working piston there. You don't get one on the top of the legs though. That's one solid piece. Detailing on it.
Can't ask for too much. It would be nice if it had a piston right there.
Yeah. But the detailing on it's really good. It's done in this more midnight blue coloring. Got a nice pearl finish to it with some decals on the chest piece. You get the 34 on the shoulders. Pretty much coloring in all the right places. You get the stripes. Some of the red highlights here and there. On the back, you get the copper coloring for the vents, which, again, pretty correct for the Jaeger. Like I said, it's just a little weird. Like, the joints here, you got some pearl finish on a lot of this, but then the joints are like hard plastic. So there's even a bit of a color difference between the piece where it connects to and the extra piece for the actual joints. So it does stand out a little bit, which I think is, like I said, the one thing that bugs me a little bit about this. But I do love that it has the working piston there. That's super sweet. But the detailing on this thing's phenomenal. The only thing that's kind of weird, and I actually grabbed it to compare. We grabbed Mega and Crimson. Is that Crimson has a lot of this like carbon fiber looking plating all over it.
Yeah.
And then has the pearl finish. Well, Gipsy's is pretty much just all that pearl finish with none of the extra like carbon fiber plating pieces. Which I think is a lot just to distinguish between the Jaegers.
I don't know. It makes me feel like it could be like, you know what I mean? Like the real thing.
Yeah, well, it's just like China likes to use a bunch of this. This is more stateside. But in terms of color, we got the ultimate NECA Gipsy Danger. And you can see the Lingjihun is much more blue. Granted, depending on the Gipsy from NECA, gives you your coloring. Like the more original releases were a lot more gray. And then it went a bit more blue over time. But you can just see like the amount of difference in the detailing between all the armor plating and the color variety. Granted, the coloring on this definitely reminds me a lot more of like the night fight scenes.
Yeah.
Than if this thing was to be like in broad daylight. It's got a lot of heavy contrast to it in comparison.
It's way better, honestly.
Yeah, but just the amount of color variety, the detailing and the armor platings. Like for the most part, everything's similar in a lot of sections, but you just get so much more with the Lingjihun. And then just so much more fucking parts with it. Like I feel like that's pretty much its huge selling point is you get like everything you need with the Gipsy Danger that looks good without having to buy bunch of different Gipsy Dangers in order to get this. It would be nice to I could see almost them doing maybe a battle damage version of this. And I would still be inclined to buy that.
I'm trying to think what they could do to make it unique.
Well, you just have like the separate, like, you know, like when it's fighting Slattern and like crawling through the water,
Yeah.
like giving us those parts to go with it.
Yeah, but how?
So doing its own figure, doing like your own figure of that, and then having like the claw marks here and there, and like swappable limbs. So if you're like having like fighting Knife Head, it could have like the head with the hole in it
Oh, okay.
for the
Yeah,
claw,
yeah.
like giving us like battle damage pieces. I think would be really sweet. And like again, another way to use some of the mold, but give us like some new parts to go along with it. But for its articulation, like we mentioned, head can rotate side to side. Looks actually quite a bit up than you would think it could, and then down, which definitely helps to be able to pose the head. I do wish it had a bit of a hinge somewhere in there so you could really lift up that head if you really want it to look sideways. This feels a bit more authentic to the character, the way it's able to pose right now. But it would be kind of cool to be able to do a bit more craziness with the toy photography. And honestly, I'm already kind of blown away about its little bicep, like the chest movement. Like it almost looks like when like somebody flexes their pecs.
Flexing their muscles.
Yeah. And then the shoulders are on their own little hinge here, so you can shift them up and down and rotate them. It's just the flap here tends to get in the way of a lot of things. You can shift the arm in and outwards, forward and back. It's also on a hinge there. Like I mentioned, not the most impressive elbow bend. I do love the excessive amounts of ratchet joints on this thing.
That's great.
So you don't have to really worry about it holding a pose too much. That being said, I wish they did just made this one specifically a ratchet. I think would have solved some.
Yeah, it would have made it easier for it to hold it up straight and everything.
Well, it like I said, it holds the pose. The problem is the rotation. So actually, a ratchet wouldn't really solve that problem.
No, it wouldn't.
We'll come back to you, but
we'll think of a way. Don't worry.
But for the waist, quite a bit of range of motion there. You also rotate at the top of the chest. This is pretty much just the rotation up here. Legs can go a little bit out, forward, really nice back forward kick. Solid back kick, butt gets in a little bit of the way. You can rotate at the top of the thigh. Got the double jointed knee, so you can get a little better than a 90-degree out of that with the working piston, and then you get the hinge at the foot. I think that's it. There's a ratchet.
So a lot of details there.
So feet posability, not the craziest, but it's got a little bit of play there. First quick comparisons. Here we have the Lingjihun Pacific Rim Gipsy Danger compared next to some SH Monsters figures with Shin Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla in 1974. And here he is next to some Haya figures with the 2014 Godzilla and the Muto from the same movie, which this one's actually a shorter Godzilla than some of the other Haya ones. Maybe we should have grabbed a bigger one, but oh, I do have one actually down here. Hold on a sec. Okay, so here it is with like a more normal sized Haya figure, at least with the other legendary Godzilla figures with the Atomic Blast 2021. This one, I recommend if you have this, keep it on the stand. But I would still say is the best Gipsy Danger figure ever made with the Soul Shigoken Gipsy Danger. And here's some NECA Pacific Rim figures with the Battle Damage Knife Head and Otachi, which honestly works really well. And that's because for the final comparison, here it is next to the NECA Jaegers from their Pacific Rim line, which it's like slightly taller than the Hong Kong Brawl Gipsy Danger. And then here's the Ultimate Striker Eureka. All right, so overall for the Lingjihun Gipsy Danger, probably bang for buck, I would say is the best Gipsy.
Definitely, yeah. I don't know if it's good as the other one, but
I would say it's the best Gipsy. But I think for 120 range that you're going to be spending on this. I think it pretty much comes with everything the general person would want for a Gipsy Danger. Plus, it has light up features.
Yeah.
Looks good. The paint job on it's immaculate. Like I said, the only thing I feel like goes above this is the Soul Shigoken. But that one, especially nowadays, I feel like is out of a lot of people's price range. And I think this is like a very suitable replacement for that at like a fraction of the price.
Yeah, this one is more affordable, definitely, for sure. And it serves its purpose.
Like, it kind of makes me sad because I got to get into Pacific Rim like right when Pacific Rim came out, so I got to get all the NECAs.
Yeah.
And didn't have to try to hunt them down, pay the aftermarket on those. And now I'm almost sad that I have all the NECAs because these things are coming out. Because these, like, so far, these have just been like banger after banger. Like, they're pulling Seamuses with these Pacific Rim figures.
And it just means you can sell your Pacific Rim figures, Steve.
No, because now I can't, like, because of these are going to hurt the value of the NECAs. Because who's going to want the NECA when you can buy these? Like, I had to buy 7 NECA Gipsy Dangers to make one of these.
That's why you get
rid of them.
And
it still doesn't look as good.
You get rid of them before people notice, Steve.
But then if they accidentally cancel online, then I'm missing things.
Nah.
Plus, like, Pacific Rim is like one of my favorite movies of all time, so I don't mind having multiple companies of the same thing. It's like Godzilla.
The second one is your favorite movie? Oh, jeez.
No, the first one. Second one's
fun. No.
The second one is the best Power Ranger movie ever.
It is Power Ranger movie, yes. Good. Never mind, we can't.
Pacific Rim wise, but Power Ranger wise, it's the best one.
I might watch both of them tonight.
Well, like the Guillermo del Toro Pacific Rim is probably my second favorite movie.
Oh God, yeah, it's very good. It's surprising good, like blow your mind good.
Though I've always been a really big fan of Guillermo del Toro movies, anyways. Like with the Hellboys, Pan's Labyrinth. Was it Lady in the Water? Is that the newer one? That one was good.
He puts a lot of effort into his movies.
Yeah, he's got like a certain style.
Yeah,
that always I think works for me. There's only been like one or two that was kind of like. They're fine. But they're really sweet. Just like this figure. So, again, would highly recommend it. If you guys like to pick this up for yourself, link in the description for CalcusToys.com. You save 6% off your order. Code SteveCalcus at checkout. And they do free shipping stateside. They also, like we mentioned, have the Gipsy Avenger. I actually think as of this video is out now. So you're able to pick that up too if you want to get it before stateside. And Leatherback should be going up for pre-order here sometime in the near future. Which is the one I'm probably... It's not the kaiju I'm most excited for them to make, but it's probably the figure currently I'm the most excited to see out of most any company. Because it's also supposed to light up, and it also comes with extra hands. We don't even get extra hands with Godzilla figures half the time. They're giving us extra hands.
No, we don't.
The giant random gorilla from a movie. Gorilla kaiju.
So I said, if the Russian fighter goes up, make sure you grab me one.
Yeah, I was like, definitely want Crimson. Oh, the Eureka I'm pretty excited for too. See how that one's going to go.
But I think if these do good, they will do the whole line.
Well, they showed prototypes for most everything. Like, there's a knife head prototype. There's a Slattern prototype.
Really?
So that's the one that's just like, give it to me. Like, that's the kaiju, like, that's the only one I need.
Shut up and take my money.
They also, Otachi, they showed prototype stuff. Yeah, because I need Slattern, I need Onibaba.
Yeah.
Nobody's made the crab.
Nobody has made the crab. Yeah,
Nobody's made the crab. Hopefully they do the random Jaegers too. So I can actually get like good versions like Romeo Blue.
The ones that are almost non-existent in the
Coyote Tango. Yeah, it's like you have the NECAs, but like the NECA, like for some odd reason, the core Jaegers were good and all the random Jaegers were like the most fragile thing. Like you breathe on them and they broke. Like my tasks, like all my other ones have some sort of damage on them outside of Gipsy Danger and
yep.
Like even my Eureka, I think, has some issues. So, definitely recommend picking them up. But you can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys like you both the day with you and donate. Greatly would appreciate it. And you can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, well, I guess we'll... Fucking Yuri. It's one thing about this figure. I despise this hand. It always falls off. It's always whenever I move this thing and I take it downstairs to do any videos with, it randomly disappears into my basement and I have to sit there with a flashlight for like 30 fucking minutes. in order to find it. And then it still falls off every. Sorry. Anyways, okay. Moving on. Gotta get this video done.